Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, new episodes come to you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today's Wednesday, and I have point 0.5 of Sports Uncorked, one half of Sports Uncorked. I'm hanging with Marisa today, and we are going to talk about our very first time at a college football game and give you what we went through.
I'm ready. Let's stroll down memory lane.
Let's do it. Kind of Roll Tide. I'll give you. I know you're a Bama fan, so it feels weird me saying that. This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into a Wednesday. As I mentioned, I'm here with Marisa, the homie. What is up, girl? So, I wanted to talk to you about your show as it is well documented, Sports Uncorked. You are usually with Rachel. She's been on a couple times as well. And today, college football, we love it. I'll tell you, I was not raised up in the college football-ness the way that I was brought up in the pro sports with the 49ers because they were simply so good. And the college down the street, Stanford, not so good. And Troy Aikman was the quarterback at UCLA, so they made the news more. So that's how I kind of became a fan of UCLA. And, of course, for basketball, they were always winning. So, and they're not good. UCLA football is just never a thing. Their stadium is cool. It's too big for them. It's just whatever. But I grew to love college football in general. The matchups. I mean, gosh, we were talking about that week 1 matchup. I know it didn't live up to what we wanted, but the hype it was the first time that a number 1 versus either a number 2 or number 3, the Ohio State-Texas game. I know there was only, 21 points scored in that game. But look, the hype of college football. So today we are talking about the first time either of us went to a college football game. And you were saying before the show that you didn't really grow up with college football being a thing either.
No, my whole family is from upstate New York. I'm Yankee. I kind of refer to myself jokingly as a Yankee peach because I am New York through and through, but I did a lot of my growing up in the South. And so when I was growing up, a lot of the sports that I was exposed to was, Syracuse basketball. It was Buffalo Bills football. My dad played college football at Albany. There was no fanfare there was that wasn't a thing for me when I was growing up. And so my first college football game was my first Saturday as a freshman at the University of Alabama. And I just didn't know that college football was a thing. I just, ended up at this school and everyone's like, what are you doing on Saturday? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess we're going to a football game because, you get
The whole
there.
city. Yeah.
The whole city is in on it. And, you get to school, and this is not to age myself, this is back in 2005. They give you your new student orientation. They give you they give you an invoice for $15 and they give you 6 home game tickets to a football game. And I'm like, okay, cool. Just going to take this. But there's something really special, which is why Rachel and I do our podcast about college football. You really just love it. But even for me, University of Alabama in 2005, it was not the dynasty that it was, not even this year, but even a couple years ago. Mike Shula was our coach. Our captains was Brody Croyle and DeMeco Ryans. Brody Croyle was our starting quarterback. I think I've said this on the show before, but I watched the University of Alabama lose to Utah State at home. So it's so for my love of college football to kind of evolve from that very, very first experience, I think is really special. just because of you enter into this like massive stadium, and like even back in 2005, like Bryant-Denny Stadium was absolutely massive. Like after they've done all the renovations, I think we're topping out at like a little over 101,000 seats in Bryant-Denny, which is absolutely massive. We're like what, top 5 biggest college stadiums in the country. And to walk into that stadium and to hear everybody in unison sing a fight song, and for everyone to scream "Roll Tide" after a first down, and for the fourth quarter to roll around, and you have like, there's just so much tradition, and you're like, you know what, this is kind of cool. Like I think I'll come back next week, you know. So like I wish that I could say that my first college football experience was this like magical thing that I did with my family at 5 years old. It just like, it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
18 years old, my first time living away from home, and I walk into a stadium with 95,000 other people screaming "Roll Tide," and I was like, okay, I'm into it. I'm doing this.
So, do you remember certain plays even right now? Do you remember if they won? Do you remember things about the actual game?
So, not even about that actual game. That whole season was kind of just very, very new. And it's crazy when you see, it's crazy when you go to school during that time. And like Tyrone Prothro was our star player during that year. He did the infamous catch. He also had the infamous breaking of the leg. I mean, like these are like pivotal things in my mind that I just like replay over and over again when I go back to 2005. And it was just more of like the season. You can't just say that it's one game, because when they say that there's so much more to the SEC, like there's something to that. Like it's not just one game, it's the whole fanfare around it. It's, you know, I think that was probably the one and only time I wore just a regular t-shirt to a football game, because I don't know if you know, but in the SEC, like the girls dress up for football games.
Okay.
I do remember that I wore a t-shirt and I was like, oh my God, I am horrifically underdressed for a football game outside in September, and it's in the 80s. Um, and I remember like being out after the game and like seeing the football players and just being like, oh, like you are massive. Like you're 6'7". I've never seen anybody this tall in my entire life.
And you're my
Um,
classmate.
and you're my classmate.
Like,
And then you see these guys literally the next day, like in English,
yeah.
walking across the like it's just
You're like,
so. It's really hard for me to say it was one game. It was just literally like the domino effect of my love for it.
yeah. No, that's really cool. I got to be honest, I did not assume that your first experience was just your freshman year, but
Hmm.
it's funny because that I have it's similar experience for me. Not that I went to school, like the college that I got kicked out of did not here's a breakdown of the school I went to. They didn't have a college, they didn't have a football team. Then years later they did get one, and the school has since folded. So,
Oh
like,
no.
if that tells you anything about the school I went to, obviously. So for me, it wasn't about that. But when I was in high school, I worked at a place that our older listeners will know. It's called Sears. And this is a thing that people only in their late 30s and 40s and 50s know, because if you're younger than that, you don't know,
If you
what's
didn't pick out your Christmas presents from the Sears or the J.C. Penney catalog, we can't talk. Like
right.
I don't want to
We
talk to
can't
you.
be friends. Exactly. So I worked at Sears, and in high school, all you did was call down different extensions to go on break with your friends. So I worked up in the kids department because that's where the video games were, and I always would find the cute girl in the juniors department. Don't act like you don't know about the juniors department at Sears. I know that's where
I
you used to
know.
get your clothes, right? The
Oh yeah,
juniors
for sure.
department.
Frilly socks, church dress. I was in there.
Not women's department,
No,
juniors, right?
ju-
All right.
juniors.
So I had about 5 girls on rotation, Marissa. I'm not going to lie.
Oh my
And
god.
I would pick out different girls like, hey, you want to go to lunch? I got you an Eddie Ann's pretzel. Like, because we would
That's
walk
love.
in the mall, right? Because it's attached to the mall. So there was one young lady named Danielle, and she to this day is a good friend, and she went to my prom. She invited herself to my prom because
Oh,
I got dumped right before.
oh.
And so she's like, "Well, I'm going to prom with you." I'm like, "That's not how it's supposed to go. I'm supposed to invite you. I just wasn't going to go." She's like, "Nope, we're going." And it was fantastic. It was right as she was starting to see her now husband. So
Oh,
she was a
okay.
good sport about it. It was a fabulous time. Again, we remained friends, and all of her friend group from high school went to Purdue University,
Oh,
or
okay.
as I like to call them, Purdon't. I'm not a Purdue fan whatsoever. Drew Brees, Drew Brees. So he is by far the most famous Boilermaker as far as football, and was kind of cool. So I kept in touch with that friend group over there. They all went to Purdue, and they invited me to a game. And here's the beauty of it: they gave me a random student ID. So I
Oh.
strolled up in there like I'm a student. So I'm with them in the student section. I'm cheering. It's Drew Brees. Like, we knew even back then that he was the man. There was no like, oh, we'll see how. No, we knew like this guy's gonna absolutely be in the NFL and like actually play.
Hmm.
So it was also, they played Michigan State, and this was the um Carlos Rogers, or not, is it not Carlos? Gosh, what is his first name? Remember the Detroit Lions would draft a receiver every year for like 5 years? And the first one of those was Rogers from Michigan State. TJ Duckett was the running back
Mm.
slash fullback. It might have been Jeff Smoker was the quarterback. They had a good team. Michigan State had a squad. They had NFL guys for sure. TJ
Hmm.
Duckett was like, when you see him at the game, it's, I mean, it's unreal. The dude was huge. So they had a good team, and you can look this up. The score was like 45-47. Like,
Oh,
it was
wow.
nuts. And here's what made it fun for me. Again, I'm a student. I got my air quotes. Like, I was in there like a student. And what Purdue, I don't know if Purdue does this. They don't score enough points nowadays. So I don't know if they do this. But
Right.
I was the push up guy. And what I mean by that is, every time they scored any points, they would take a student and throw him into the air however many times. If it was a field goal, they would do it 3 times because that's
Oh,
three
wow.
points. Okay, again, the score was all close to 50 points. So they pushed me up in the air, what, like 200 times? Because you do it every time and you
Yeah.
build and build, right? So like, I was the one that they threw into the air, and it was one of the highest scoring games. So it was fantastic. For one
That's
day, I
awesome.
was a huge Purdue fan. Like, that was so fun to like be a part of the college experience and then go out and party later after a big
Hmm.
win. Well, shoot, I don't even know if they won or lost. I just know it was a lot to a lot was the score. Defense was absolutely optional that day, and it was just fun. The tailgating, all of this, like, again, that was my first time. So
Hmm.
I'm 19. I was a year older than all this group. So
Oh, wow.
I was 1 year into college already, and then
Okay.
they come out and go, they're freshmen and I'm a sophomore, and they're like, "Hey, we got you a ticket. We got an extra ticket. We got an ID for you. Come to the Purdue game." I'm like, "Okay." So I drive 2 hours away and go to the game, and it is just fantastic. Like, all the kids, and like, I felt like I went there. Obviously for you as a student, you had to feel good about it because you're like, wow, I'm really doing this. I'm a Alabama Crimson Tide. Like, here I am, like, with my classmates. I kind of felt that even though I didn't go to Purdue. Like, I can't
Yeah.
imagine how you felt of like, I don't know if you call it a sense of pride, but like a sense of like, wow, like, I'm an adult. I'm doing like these great things now. Like, I'm at
Yeah.
Alabama, you know, I get that.
I think I didn't feel like that until year two, because then I think once you kind of have that experience, like you knew Drew Brees was going to be something. At the tail end of that season is when people start saying, "Oh, that guy's going to the NFL. That guy's going to the
Oh,
NFL." And
so
I'm
it
like,
wasn't like that
"Okay,
at
cool."
first.
At first, because I didn't understand. Like, I probably have a crazy in-depth knowledge about it now, but I didn't understand that, like, some grown man is like going to a 13-year-old in middle school and he's like, wow, that kid can run. I want him at the university. Like, I didn't understand that was a thing. I
Yeah.
thought that people play college, they play football in high school, and then they just put on their application, like, I want to play football at this university. Or because, like, even my high school was not a football school. My high school sucked at football.
Mine
My high
too.
school was a basketball school. Like my high school was like national champions, like state champions. Like Jalen Brown graduated from my high school. So like it's like just it was culture shock for me when I got to Alabama, because I was like, oh, okay, so like football, like it's hard. Like that's kind of how it felt.
Like, oh, is this what we're doing
Year
now?
two is when like
Okay.
everything started coming together, and I was like, yo, I go to Alabama, and like we're kind of a big deal.
And became a much bigger deal, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tell us real quick about your podcast.
Right. So, Sports Uncorked. So, me and my best friend Rachel, we talk about sports and all varieties. Mostly, we focus on college football. We throw a little golf in there. We throw a little bit of pro football. Really, whatever is in the top 10 of your newsfeed, we're going to expand on it. It's a really, really good time. Not for the faint of heart. I feel like we're very unapologetic. We're a little offensive, but it's a good time.
Yes, I would agree. I'm definitely a fan. I saw your guys' stuff originally, and I was the one to reach out to you and say like, "Hey, we got to collaborate." And now we've been doing it for a while. It's been fun.
It's a blast.
Yeah, love it, love it. Okay, reminder that new episodes of Sports Idiot Nation can be found every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Follow us on social media. Follow Sports Uncorked also on social media. That's how I originally found you, was the Facebook. Yeah, I was trying to
Yeah.
remember if it was Instagram or Facebook, but yeah, on Facebook is how I found you first. So
Oh yeah, we're everywhere. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube.
Yeah,
New episodes
you name
every
it.
Friday.
Awesome. Yep. Okay. So with that said, reminder, new episodes come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Friday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
You would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.